Good morning. How's everybody doing? Might be good night. About good night for some of you, depending where you are. But wanted to get on here quickly just to go over what I'm actually going to be doing, explaining products I came back with from the Grooming Expo, what items they were, go through a couple of them. I'll be going through a demo separately. Hi, Buffy. So right now I'm just going to quickly go over the products I got from Les Poochs because the videos this week I just put in the description how to get an entry into a drawing, and will be any videos until Sunday, until Easter, pretty much that I put up. There's a description on there. Just comment on the live chat. If you miss it live, just send a comment down below. Oh, it's the other light. Sorry. Hold on. So we'll be putting that together and then just giving away a giveaway. I know sometimes videos or demos don't go into everything completely, so I'm going to try to compile a few short videos separately so you can find just the part you're looking for. If you know the product already and you just want to see a demo, that's going to be a separate video. Right now, actually, I have all the Les Poochs products out here. I do know exactly what brushes I got because I was comparing that. But I haven't heard anything other than great reviews on all of their shampoos and products lines that they do use on all the additional grooming efforts. So I'll be also testing those out this week. I probably won't show any of that, but I'll be comparing them with my dogs. So I have a couple different ones. I'll just show what they are, give you a heads up on what items they have. But the main thing I came back with and went down to the expo for was that one all-around brush or two that can get rid of the clutter, or if you're just a pet parent and you have one or two pets only, you don't need to get every single brush, but you want to have a quality one that's going to handle what you need. What are you doing back there? So there's a lot of them that are very similar, especially the Les Poochs slicker brushes and the matte zapper. Gone into a little bit that before, that they were outsourcing out of the country a couple of years ago and didn't like the quality of it, so they pulled the line. Activate started making them. They do have a few brushes similar to it. There's differences on them. I'll go through that on the demo. So right now this video is literally just going to be what the products are, so that way you can get a feel of what I'm hi Violet. So you can get a feel of what I'm going to be demoing. So more of just seeing these products, and in the demo we're going to go into why I chose these ones over the other companies or other ones that are similar, to show the value of why I think that these are actually worth getting. So most people are very familiar with this product here. It's the Les Poochs Matte Zapper. Pretty much removes the undercoat. The way they've designed it, it goes by the firmness on brush, so it's a little firmer, but their pins are very rounded at the end and high quality if they're not bending really. The hard part on a brush like this is actually placing all the pins in a straight row, which I think right there you can actually see from the front straight to the back without a pin in the way. When you're detangling or dematting, you're trying to straighten out the hair. So you can't really straighten out the hair if the pins are either scattered or if they're too flexible and bending enough. While you're drying, you want to just get there and slowly either a pat and pull process for tangles, not really to remove the undercoat, but a pat and pull will get into a little tangled spot and you pull it away from the skin, not dragging it or not doing that. And essentially where it grabs, it's just going to grab a little bit of the hair and you're going to kind of pull it right back out to slowly pull those knots out. It's almost like when you tie a rope and it's really tight and it takes you a second, kind of move your thumb closer and closer and closer to it. You're just going to do a piece of it at a time until it comes off, and you're going to try to do it like that, straight, So you can't do that with a brush that's all scattered around. So that's what this does. Like I said, I'll go into the next video of why I got this over other detanglers, other slickers, other brushes of the like. But just quickly right now, they do have, so this is a single. They, for the larger doodles or larger, any dog large that you're going to use this for, they do have a double-sized one. It's just wider. I do a lot of small dogs, so that's why I got this one. Plus, it's a little easier to work around the legs, which the legs are the most of the part that gets the mats, tangles, or it's tough to get in there. So this one is their medium firm, and it's actually, like I said, more flexible. You could see that right away. The pins are angled at a slightly lower point, and they're scattered over in columns. So this pretty much is just going to be to get the hair loosened out. It will help with some mats, but not those thicker ones. They say that the mat zapper will be more effective, about 50% more effective than any of their other brushes. So this is pretty good if you're going to want to keep up with it and you're actually brushing depending on what breed you have, if it's once a week, once every 2 days. This is very delicate. Now, the reason that these are scattered is that way kind of does pick up at a different angle, and when you're going down a coat, it has all the hair separately, so you're not really tugging at it at all. So the flexibility is going to bring it up. It's going to be a little more sensitive to it. So this is going to be one of the main all-around brushes. They do have this in different flexibility, essentially, is what will allow it to be on a softer coat without damaging it, or the resistance is what's going to help with that undercoat or tangles. You're going to want it more, the firmer one. If you have a double coated or heavy coated dog, you're going to want it to be more firm and actually get in there. If you have Papillons, hi Angela, I just saw that right now, good morning. You're going to want it to be more flexible, like the Yorkies with straight silky hair. You're not going to want to shred that with a really firm one. You're going to kind of want to let the brush, if you do put it too much pressure, it's going to kind of go back. But you also notice that the pins on these, even though I'm pushing them, they're not losing their shape. So that's a good thing, is it actually springs back to where it is, and that's the difference with this and some of the other ones. Just want to go back to Mat Zapper real quick, because the other thing it does that I was told, have to test this out, is you're actually removing the mats and removing the dead hair. So that's obviously going to get in your brush. And as groomers, we all know if you're de-shedding a dog or doing something like that, you're going to get hair everywhere. It's going to go all over the place. That's almost inevitable. Oh, yeah, I was trying to move. I had that on because I just saw that. I had that on because the puppies, I was trying to get them to really play. I don't need that one. I was trying to figure out which one it was. I thought it was the other light. Sorry, but at least there's no wind today, and it's not bouncing around. Working on it. Thanks for that point there, Violet. I should read that a little sooner. But back to the brush. It says it'll actually keep the hair in it until you remove it. It's very easy to remove it. Pretty much grab your comb and you'll kind of just put it in and pull it out. But at least it's not going to go all over the place. Curious to see how that works, because that seems like that would be really nice, especially if you're grooming in a smaller area or you just don't want to have that all over the place. Let me just take a second and look over the rest of these comments. That way I know I didn't miss anything. I mean, okay. I fixed the light. It's not the window. It's rain. It's about to rain out there pretty bad. Ice. Nope. No ice. Brush. You're asking if it's a brush or a matte brush. The matte zapper is to remove mats. The medium firm brush is just a regular brush. They, like I said, they have different angles on the pin, so it's going to be more delicate. But also the firmness of that one is what's going to pull those out. Now, we were discussing before, I think you said you only used pin brushes. The pin brushes are more of just a finishing brush. Trying to think real quick. It's like comparing like a bristle, just a bristle brush is kind of just going to brush the tops. The thing with the pin brush, they're both brushes. The thing with the pin brush, it's not really going to stimulate the skin or actually get down to the skin and do anything. You'll notice all the pin brushes have the round tip on the end. So you're really never touching the skin with an effective part of the brush. So mostly the slicker is the main brush that any groomer is going to use, because unless if it's a really fine, delicate coat, it's essentially just a different type of brush. Oh, okay. So I was saying the Papillons and Terriers, they have 4 different flexibilities of this. This is kind of the medium one. So the other one, I don't have one similar that I use, but the flexibility is pretty much going to be go up to here with almost no pressure. So essentially what it's doing is you're really not pushing any pressure on it, and it's just going to stay loose on the loose hair and not really have to worry about it being too harsh on them. Yeah, with your terriers, as long as you keep using the comb, because their hair is silky as it is, so you don't really have to spread the oils out. That's another thing that these brushes are going to do. It's going to help spread the natural oils that the dog is giving, which is going to help protect the coat. Now for their faces, I would pretty much I have another brush, another slicker that's even more sensitive. It's smaller. As long as you get down to the skin, a lot of that's a lot of that's going to be, you're going to be working very gently around that area anyway. So a lot of times what I do is, that's why most of the dogs I put the waterless face foam on there, kind of just to actually stimulate that. If you're rubbing against it, that's mainly what you're trying to get done, and scrubbing it. It's almost like considering these brushes that you're kind of scrubbing it a little bit actually before the bath and getting those dead hairs and dead skin off, because if you leave them on when you wet it, it's just going to stick against their body a little bit more. So instead of it sticking against their body and actually cleaning those pores out, you're going to want to loosen them, so when you wet them, they're going to come off. So that's why a lot of times you don't want to just jump straight into the bath. Yes, you've seen, in my haul, I do have a smaller one. They have other ones that are, other than that one, that are triangle shaped for sensitive areas. Essentially, if you want to go between the legs, it's just easier to get in there and it's not as wide. Or what do you want? It's not as wide, and it's just not as firm on it. So we can go into the brushes a lot more later, but these are the 2 I got from that. So yeah, that they have. The reason I got this one is because it's also good for puppies. If you're, that's what you're gonna have to go back towards the. I think you got it at the beginning, a little bit after I started, but if you're gonna be keeping up with it, you're gonna want pretty much a medium firm brush, so it stays through. It gets it down to the skin, especially if you're gonna try to keep it in a coat that's that's about half an inch long, which is still pretty short for a Havanese. You're gonna want to make sure that you get down to the skin to keep it healthy, to remove any dead hairs that have died. The matte zapper is either for somebody who knows if it's a Havanese or a Bichon, Shih Tzu, somebody who knows you might not really have the time to brush that dog every other day. But if you're going to be doing it once a week and at least keeping up with that, just go with the mat zapper so you don't have to do it. It's going to take more time. You're going to have to be a little more gentle so that way you're not pulling on any tangles. But essentially, it's whichever way you look at it. If you're doing it every 2-3 days, this is good enough to keep up with it. Might take you 10 minutes every couple days. Where once they start getting tangles, if you use this one, it's going to take you a little longer than removing the mats with this. So I just find it, not everybody could keep up with it. If you know what your schedule is going to be like and what you're trying to do, there's a brush out there, and it's just what fits that's going to be most comfortable for you and for the dog. Now, there's the other quick thing with any slicker brushes that a lot of people don't realize or know is, yeah, you might have the right brush, but you should never brush dry hair. It's just going to cause more friction. It's going to cause more tugging and pulling, whatever it is. There's leave-in conditioners. There's detangling sprays, waterless foam, something. If you just want to dampen it lightly, this is their detangling spray. I haven't used it yet, and it even says right on there that it's for a pre-wash. I just noticed that right now. There's other ones that you can put on after that are more of like a leave-in or to reduce static, but this is the one detangling spray that they have. So I'm just going to go quickly over their shampoos. I kind of just looked at them quickly after I spoke to them. This one is one that got me really interested because ears are a big factor. Keeping them clean. We all know that there's different ear drops that you want to make sure you put in. Raquel, sorry, I'll get back to your question in a second. I just saw it. But this is a degreaser. So if you have a large, like a pit bull or a Rottweiler, and they just have a lot of that oils on there, you'd want a degreaser. But what's really cool about this one is it's actually an ear wax remover. Or not just earwax, it removes leftover medication. So if your dog had an ear infection and your vet gave you medicated ear drops to put in there, they might be in there. Once everything's gone, you're going to want to clear that out. So that way it gets cleaned up, has circulation and airflow to it, so that way it stays healthy. So this is actually pre-bath, but so it's you put it in the ear and you'd remove it almost right away after with a cotton swab. It's not something you'd want to leave in, and it's not something you'd really do at the end. It's completely safe to put in and around the ear, but you don't want to get water in your ears. So that's why you want to have the removal right away, because this is a degreaser, so it's going to remove that ear wax right out for you. So these, essentially, like I'm saying with their brushes, if you get high quality items, you'd really only need one. You just have to find out which one you'd need or would suit you, instead of trying a couple different ones. Or, oh, today he's muddy, tomorrow he's stinky, you need different ones. They've formulated everything to go together. So essentially, this is a tearless shampoo, great for puppies. Obviously, I'm going to need this, but it's gentle. Chamomile and aloe, other items, which, so just want to see one thing. So what's, I know they said there's only one, but since they are somewhat luxury items, they go even a step further. You'll notice the only difference on here is this is for a male, this is for a female. What's the difference that you say between the dog? One's more of a masculine fragrance, and the other's a female fragrance. So, oh, cool. So that's just funny. I was looking at my products. I'm going to on the back. I'm checking the ingredients. I'm like, same. I'm like, what's the difference? And then I'm like, oh, and I open up, smell them. I'm like, that's the difference. But the quality is there on both of them. Same thing. So then they have vitamin enriched conditioning shampoo. I'm gonna just quickly go over that. Same thing, male and female one, and then they have a rinse conditioner. So this would be used as a finishing. Let me just quickly go through these messages I saw. Raquel, as far as my own shop, I do groom some out of my house. I just left the salon I was at in the fall because of the Havanese puppies I was going to be having, and wanted to convert into, yes, some out of my house, but I'm going to do house calls, actually. A lot of the dogs I do are, I wouldn't say aggressive dogs. It's dogs that people think are aggressive, or handling and training puppies that are wild and don't want to stay still, don't know what the grooming process is, or home maintenance for the families to get involved and know exactly what to do. And that's why I'm trying to find these products. Like I said, if this, I believe you're waiting for a Havanese yourself. This would be an all-around brush that you would only need this. So I'm trying to find high-end items that could go out to the regular pet owner. If you're willing to pay the price for it, it's definitely worth it. And I can go into details of why it's really worth it. But also, I saw you use Nature Specialties. Pretty much that's the same. I love Nature Specialties. I've been using them for a couple of years. So I actually have them as the better quality product that's at an economic price. So that's pretty much the best value item. So I love their products. And then Les Poochs are the luxury items that if you want to pamper your dog a little bit more, or you're really not doing much in between, you might give them, if your dog goes monthly to a groomer and you're grooming him once or bathing him once in between, and you want to just treat your dog, make him really clean, or going out somewhere, it's nice to just have that instead of the everyday smell, fragrance, or conditioner that you put in on them. Really, Buffy? Will I travel? I don't know about that one. I don't know if anybody's willing to hire me. You just want your dog's faces done because something happened over there. Buffy pulled a typical, thanks for the help, pet parent, but thanks. Got to do twice the work now. Yeah, my pups, the pups are sleeping right now. Ow! There's a lone wolf over there. That's why I had the lights on. I was trying to make sure they run around. Sorry if that got you dizzy. Just 1 second. How's it smell? Different. It smells really good. Let me see here if I could explain what it smells like first. But the thing with it is I smelled all of them a couple times and it started mixing, kind of like when you go to this, just the difference with the female one, it smells like a little sweeter. I don't know if that's because I'm a male and like it smells just a little more floral. But it's going to smell different once it's either wet a little or actually on a coat. So I'm going to have to sniff the dog directly right after using them, and then I'll be able to answer your question because I can't put it on the dogs right now if they're dirty. And smelling it straight out of the bottles is kind of overwhelming once you get past a couple. Well, extracts. Oh, I got lost here. Oh, this is their natural cream rinse. If you're trying to just have more natural products, not as many chemicals or anything. They don't really use many chemicals. I shouldn't have said that. But this is just a cleaner version. And then they have their specialty shampoos. This one's a medicated. So if you're trying to get rid of any skin conditions or anything, you'd be able to use their medicated. They have a pH balanced shampoo, and this is essentially the same thing, but this one's a hypoallergenic, fragrance-free. So whether you have allergies or someone in your house can't smell those fragrances, even though the other ones smell great, or you just don't want to deal with the smell, or maybe you found a doggy cologne or perfume that you love by itself, then you might want to just use the fragrance-free one. Hi, Abby. Yes, these are Les Poochs items. This is pretty much every product that they have on their shampoo and conditioners. Now, if you are trying to do it daily, yes. I've put that on Husky already. You just have to, I think I've left it there for you too. The leave-in conditioners. Les Poochs doesn't have leave-in conditioners, and if you're doing it daily, you wouldn't really need a detangling spray. I know what you're looking for. You want to have something that's going to actually help keep the coat healthy and smelling good. So the Nature Specialty one that I use actually is the Silk and Finish. What that does daily is it's a leave-in conditioner, but it also naturally, without any silicones, surround the coat, so it actually repels dirt. So he's not going to get dirty as easily. So if the dirt's not sticking to the coat, if you're keeping up with the brushing, you're kind of just going to brush that right off. So they have a leave-in conditioner that's either a gel or a spray, and it's called Silk and Finish. That's from Nature Specialties. They also have their Quicker Slicker, which is just a similar detangling spray, but it smells really good. And it's very gentle. What that does, same thing though, that helps keep dirt and particles off of the coat. So if you're doing it daily, you might want to put something on there. That's another great reason why you'd want to do that. The brushing daily, or thinking that if you're keeping up with it, yes, it's less work for you. And another reason it makes it even faster is you're going to be using those products that help just naturally on their own. So I think that answers your question on the daily sprays. Hi, Sophie. I didn't see you snuck in there. Do you ever sleep? Aren't you? I guess right now it's what, nighttime over there? What time is it, Sophie? Raquel, if the smell lasts long after you bathe them, you're going to have to come back and find out probably sometime next week, because I'll be bathing my dogs later today and tomorrow, and that's the first time I'm using them. So you're pretty much coming along with me, but I'll be doing it and giving you my thoughts on it as I use them. I have not used these products at all yet. So as long as they last, on their websites it says a fragrance that lasts days. So we'll have to judge that and see how it goes, and I'll let you know. Any other brand? Buffy, I'm going to explain that either tonight or tomorrow, what the difference is between the brands. Right now, I just wanted to show you in detail a little bit of what these items that I do have right now are, and why I chose them over, like you're asking, Chris Christensen ones. I went back and forth between the booths to find out different details. So as I'm demoing them for the first time and using them, I'm going to let you know why I chose them, because yes, Chris Christensen does have their own types of slickers, their own shampoo line, everything. So, I don't know, it's like McDonald's and Burger King. They both have burgers with cheese on them, but there's a little difference. I don't like either, but I like both Les Poochs and Chris Christensen items, but I had to choose one. I didn't have to choose one, but there's no point in both, I don't think. It would be kind of redundant. So We'll be able to go over that as I'm brushing out the dogs. Raquel, if you have a smelly dog, I know I'm going over Les Poochs right now, but you said you do you like Nature Specialties, and everybody else out there for the Nature Specialties one. I just got a new shampoo from them as well. I use a couple different ones of them, but the new one that I'm going to be trying out, because everybody seems to be asking or concerned with bathing your dog too much. If their skin's going to get dried out or strip the oils that they need. Sorry, I'm looking at the puppies. Sorry, you can't see them. It's called Yard Dog. That's for that really dirty, smelly dog. But it has natural botanicals in it, and it's pretty much they've formulated it safely to use daily on your dog, even. So it's a really gentle, natural shampoo that, like, if you have that outdoor dog and you just want to rinse them all, it's almost like a rinse, but that'll remove the smelliness also, because the rinses just take off whatever's on top. So I believe I put in the description to this video are how to get your name put in for a drawing. What I'm going to be doing is, right now, like we went over, there's a couple different brands out there, even more than Chris Christensen, but I chose them. So I'm going to be testing them out, and whether I like them or not, I'm going to give you my opinion. Even if I don't like them, somebody else might like them or whatever may be. I'm sure I'm not going to not like them, but I picked their products, from brushes to shampoos. What I'm going to do is have a monthly company or product line that I'll be trying out. So in the middle of the month, I'll start describing it, make certain videos of it, go through a demo, and I'll do about a week, not a week, but 4 or 5 days, probably 4 or 5 different videos on similar like what I just did, done a demo, and then my opinion on it a couple days later. And what the ways to enter that are by, right now I'm going to go through everybody's name that did go here. That's one entry. Go share and like the video. That'll get you in again. And then I'll do a drawing in about a week. So we'll get right to it. As people are bored in the middle of the month, that's what I figured to do. People either have plans at the beginning of the month or the end of the month. You're like, oh no, mortgage is due. I got to work overtime this week. So I just decided to do that. So if you enjoyed that or you have any other questions, I'm going to quickly try to check through the rest of these questions or comments that were in here. Feel free to post something now. I'm going to just give you a minute and see what they're going to do. I think they're out for a while. There's the pig. They're puppies, though. They have endless energy. I'm going to get, that snoring sloth. And this will probably wake them up. Missy's been trying to get this the whole time I've been streaming there. So the funny thing with them is 1 or 2 of them have started jumping on this, like how Missy gets on the stool here and looks down. Come here. Don't steal their toys. Over there. Go get it. Ooh, that was a good jump, Missy. I'm trying to see if I could read these. Well, I think I can. Nope, I can't. I don't have another phone on me. So what I'll do is, since if you guys want to see the puppies, Later, well, if I'm doing stuff around here, I could just turn the feed on. You guys could kind of nanny cam see them. I'll do that if you want, and then that'll just be a regular video. If you feel like watching it, you can. That's not going to be anything to do with the drawing or the giveaway, but I've been recording them a little bit here and there anyway because it's just fun to look at later. Yeah, so that's part of some of my clients that were looking for me when I left the salon. They're still looking for either me or what I used, and actually I brought back the silk and finish just for one of the groomers there because they're still asking and trying to get the dogs to smell like how I had them leaving. What are you doing? Hi. So which one? The white face one or the ones that are black and white? How do you choose? So remind me in the next video to grab my phone or tablet, and then I could just, instead of you having to look at me while I'm describing something or using it, I'll just flip it to them. You guys could watch them and listen to me. You don't need to be watching me. That's no fun anyway. So hope you enjoyed the information just given. Like I said, look at the description. There's my new email in there. I'll be publishing my webpage soon, hopefully by this weekend. But it's can be easier to contact me. I'll be able to keep up with it. So right now, I have all of you here. Marked that. So if you'd like to go share this video, like I said, it's mostly going to be Les Poochs lines because that is part of the giveaway that I'm doing. So I'll be demoing it or start using it later, and I'll get back onto here sending out. So don't miss the videos because that's pretty much essentially a free entry just by saying hi quickly in here, letting me know you got the notification and you popped open my video. So I'll be talking to you later. I gotta go. I don't know, go snuggle with the puppies or something. Not much else I have to do right now. It's all rainy. So keep your eyes out for the demo. During the demo, I will be explaining the difference with their products and other companies' products, as well as demoing them and seeing how they work. So have a good afternoon or good night, depending where you are, and I'll see you guys later.